Well. Hello on a wonderfully cold Saturday or Sunday.
Sunday,
Sunday.
mate. Come on, Jesus.
Sunday afternoon in Australia. Sunny Australia, where Corona is rife at the moment, in especially
Yeah,
Victoria. Yeah. I hope everybody welcome to the show. This
especially
is
in Melbourne.
oh shit, your name's not on it. I did forget something here.
Oh,
Hang on. I can't do a. I will do it afterwards. So, my name is Minded, and on to my right hand side, that's my right man, Colin Schumacher. Sorry, I forgot to put your name up there, Colin.
I'll let it go, mate.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, it's all live on. So Craig Woods asked if it's live on YouTube. Yeah, we've got it going on YouTube. The premium
Mate,
quality is on YouTube. Colin.
go get on YouTube, watch it on your TV.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
looks back in. Looks saying yeah, but you're back in the hotel room, but you're looking a bit fresher today, Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the
Uh,
weather? What's the weather like where you are at the moment, mate?
Mate, cold rain.
Yeah.
Expecting 200 mil of rain or something, so can't wait.
Oh, that's great. You've got the work gives you a 4-wheel drive to drive around in, and you get paid to go 4-wheel driving, don't you?
Yeah, actually, I'm getting driven around this time. It's great. So.
Oh, well, get driven around, watch people make holes in the ground.
Yeah,
Make sure the machines arrive on time. Oh, great. Yeah,
yeah.
Luke says
Good fun, mate.
eyes open today, buddy. Eyes open. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good seeing you,
yeah. I
Colin.
was at Duke Stanford.
Yeah, Duke Stanford is here in the house. Yeah,
Yeah.
Adam Sapiano from the VHS is here as well. Hello, Adam. Yeah, I hope you. So it's a little bit of a random just get together on the. Darren Boswell's here. Hello, Darren. Yeah, over usual.
He's always here.
Yeah, turn your sound up, Colin. Okay, no, if it's too low for
Yeah,
Colin.
turn me up.
Yeah, you
You're
are.
in control.
You're the same levels as me, so Duke might have an issue with his headset or whatever he's listening on. He might have to tune that up a
Did you
bit.
see his Did you see his video he made?
Oh, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
So we've already spread the influencer. We are influencers. I would say we're a little bit of influencers. What do you reckon, Colin?
Yeah, why not? Let's just take the badge and run with it. Can't wait for my million views and
10,000, 11,000
now
views.
10,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
11,000. Well, we'll try and get 20,000 views today. Just
Yeah.
a click on your video doesn't get doesn't get. But let's not go there. Let's stay.
Mate,
We're the
um,
negative side of the story, yeah, aren't we? We're the negative stream, huh?
apparently, yeah.
No.
Apparently.
We'll be good. We'll be good today. So let us know if you can hear us. Okay, and I'm screaming. I'm
Make
quite.
sure you share the feed as well, whatever page you're on, share it around.
Yeah. Let me just make sure we're still okay here because yeah, I don't know why Facebook's playing up, but at least we're running on multiple streams here because we can do that.
Yeah, no, it looks good on Facebook.
Let me just.
There's always a delay, so
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I don't know. There's the stream. I don't know why Facebook's playing up. So what's the deal? So you're saying it's nice where you are. If you run into any coughing, you should have to always be careful to have people coughing around
no,
you. Yeah.
no, nothing up here. So
You did say that you get issued with a permit when you came into Victoria, the deadly
yeah,
state.
we got permits and exemptions because we're railway workers. So
Oh, okay, but you still
yeah.
can come into Victoria. You can be in contact with somebody with the virus, and you can go back to New South Wales and carry it back home.
Well, where I'm working, I'm like from the hotspots. I'm about 3 hours away, 4 hours away,
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
there's people that are coming back from there, but they won't. They're running a different shift to like us, so they're running a night shift,
Mm-hmm.
and so those guys are never around. And then I think they're going to get them tested this week, and then once they're tested and it confirmed they're okay, then we'll be back on day shift.
Oh, okay.
They're managing it pretty well, like the best they can anyway. So
So it's not a complete like they want to make you. Like to make it sound like it's a complete shutdown, but it's
yeah,
hard to control the movement of people, especially when they've got work to
I
do
was,
and
I was
stuff like
watching the
that.
news before, and there's posties going back and forth every day.
Oh,
They
yeah, of
deliver a
course.
mail. And if that stopped, but like where I am now, like there's just no one around, and
Yeah,
you can see they're really hurting. So
yeah, of course. I mean, everybody. I think majority of people are hurting at the moment with the
yeah,
It's only the essential workers that are.
You like taking some good photos, Colin? Are you working out a new camera? No, I'm just doing an iPhone pictures.
Yeah.
So I started an Instagram called Photos by Shuey
Mm-hmm.
with a Y.
It's,
Find me on Instagram. It's a private account.
yeah.
Send me a request, and I may or may not let you in the door. So
Yeah, the door. The door is not always open when it comes to you.
you got to be careful these days with
you,
this
you
fake news getting around. So
you don't have an open door policy, do you?
no,
Shut door policy, and then people ask nicely. That's when you
yeah.
open the door.
A friend
Maybe.
request, the same thing. Like I don't know if I've never met you or spoke to you, you're not getting in the door.
Yeah, it's always awkward a situation when somebody sends you a friend request when they're a reptile keeper because you don't want to offend people, but a lot of the time, my personal
You don't
Facebook
want to
account.
offend people. Jeez.
Yeah, but my personal Facebook account is left for my family and real close friends of the people I grew up with. If I don't know you, if I don't know you from a bar of soap, then I'm not gonna add you to. If then join, add yourself to my snake profile. You could see the difference. You can clearly see which
Yeah.
profile is more reptile orientated than not really with me. It's what you see is what you get. What's a jig? What's a jig? What is that? What's an abbreviation? What you see is what you get. Jig. I see people use that.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
An acronym.
in Australia. There's an acronym for everything. And abbreviation and everything. Shorthand for everything in this life. So. So anybody need anything? So okay, Darren Boswell, Luke, yes, loud and clear, blah blah blah. Okay, so anybody have any questions?
What's the news? Tell me the news, people.
Yeah, what is the news? It's been very quiet in the reptile industry. I've done a bit of had some time to kill yesterday. Changed the layout a little bit, spruced it up a bit, cleaned it up a bit so it's a little bit slick.
Oh, Dale's been hard at work, has he?
Oh, yeah. Dale. Oh, Darren,
the media team's been hard at work sorting out the media.
Yes. Sorry, we kind of different. I'm trying to stay positive here. Don't drag me down. I'm thinking, what the fuck is he talking about? I can't see any Dale, Dale, whatever. Yeah. I was going to say, what am I still? I'm still getting friends requests all over the world after talking to you guys, and I think to myself, what's the point? Yeah, well, they can follow you. You can follow somebody, and then what you can do is the stuff that's reptile related, you can post as a public post. I mean, that's what I do. If I make a post that is, you can follow me on Facebook, and then if I post something that's reptile related, you'll see it pop up because it's public. And anything that's private, only your family and friends can see it. Yeah. So, but but don't get offended. It's not because I don't like you or anything. I just like to keep business clear from business and pleasure. I separate it sometimes. You know, not that there's much pleasure in this industry. At the moment.
I did that. I had a heap of people on my personal Facebook. I had like nearly 2,000 friends, and I just cut it down to 400 or something. So
yeah, but you are a popular guy. If you
I used to be. Formerly a reptile YouTuber.
Yeah, formerly known as. Yeah, we won't go there. But I had a look at some of those videos you made with the blue tongues. Man, some of those things had like 250,000 views.
Yeah.
On that channel, the videos that had your blue tongues were the most popular.
Yeah.
Crazy,
yeah.
I just randomly went through that because I like to look at analytics. I like to when somebody quantifies how big their channel is and how good their stuff is. I like to go and have a look and see like, okay, this has had so many views because there's an actual counter even on Facebook, right below your video that you make. There's a little counter that said how many views your video had. So if you're telling me that you had 100,000 views and there's only like 600 views, then you're talking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That must feel
Maybe
good though.
You need glasses.
That must feel good though to have had a collection that had. Made videos that got like 600.
Like we've had videos that went viral as well, like have 1 million views. I think that channel is up to 4 million views now, and the videos, like people think, oh, it's just a video, but that video's there forever, and it's always constantly clicking over views or all that sort of stuff. So
But I guess that's the thing with why the long term YouTubers. Oh, I think we just went totally down on Facebook for some reason. Facebook's just not working. You're
No,
using
still
Facebook?
safe.
No, we've got our other system that we're running, so we're definitely going through.
Yeah.
You just need to move a little bit more because you look like you're a statue there. Yeah, he is alive. He is alive. He's awake. But what I wanted to say was, we talk, me and you talk about other things nowadays than reptiles. The majority of stuff we talk about is video gear and the next lens we're buying and the next light and the next this and that and cinema rigs and all that shit.
The travel lighting I have now, like.
Oh, that's so. I mean, I was just saying before, I was admiring the Rembrandt there. Rembrandt shadows when you've got like the one side's lit and then the other side just has a little triangle on the cheek there. Look at it. Oh, it's so good.
But it's all about, like I have like, because that's called the key light, and then I have the hair light. I was going to put a hair light on as well, but I didn't bother because I just thought this looked pretty cool already. So
yeah, but you don't need much light. You just need to understand how light works and how to set your camera the right shutter speed and stuff like that for it to look good.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying to Luke was telling me we were talking about his video that he was making just before. And I actually recommended that phone cover that you got to him. I said, oh, how could you improve it? I said, well, you need to bring your shutter speed down if you're shooting outside. And when there's too much light, what people don't realize is when they're filming outside on a phone, then the shutter speed automatically goes up because there's too much light. So that cover that you've got, that Polar Pro, what's it, the light chaser, yeah? Show the people.
Hang on a sec.
So it's
on a second.
It's called the Polar Pro light chaser. Did you get the filming, the video kit, or the photography kit, Colin?
I just got the light. There was only one kit I could get for this iPhone.
No, but there's but there is because they came in a variable. Have you got the variable ND or have you got
the variable one? Yeah.
And then you've got the filmmaking kit. So they sell them in a photography and a filmmaking kit. So that's the cover. It's following your face. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just put it right in front of your face. So it looks like that. So it comes with a variable ND filter, and what that does,
it just clips on and off. So.
What the YouTubers say is it's like sunglasses for your camera. So what that does is it literally darkens. It reduces the light that the camera can see, and it brings the shutter speed down, and it gives you a normal.
Get more contrast out of pictures and more light definition and stuff. It's really cool.
and the movement's a little bit more fluid, so it doesn't look too choppy. So
they're a must on. If you got a drone, and you're flying it without ND filters, you should really fly, especially over water. Like you get a lot of the refraction off the water, and it looks shit. So when you have the NDs, you don't have any of that. You just see the water.
Yeah. So this is the type of stuff that we talk about. So what we were saying about the YouTube algorithm and stuff is that people. That's why YouTube now has like a cap. You need like how many thousand views? How many hours a year do you need for it to be for you to get monetized? They changed it recently.
You need 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, minimum, and then 10,000 viewing hours.
Yeah, no, it's like I think it's like to get the minimum. I think it's like 400 watch hours or something now.
Yeah,
that wasn't a requirement when our channel.
Your camera,
the old channel used to be.
Your camera plugged in.
Yeah. Oh, hang on a sec.
Yeah,
stand by, guys.
You pulled out the cable, or the battery's gone.
Yeah, shitty battery.
You don't get that stuff with my cameras. Yeah, it's always no.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, no. Sort that shit out, man. You've got the adapter to give you constant light. Yeah. So more than the gimbal.
I'm on the road, mate. I can't have all the gadgets with me.
That power supply of yours is not. You can stick that on there.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. You just didn't concentrate when you packed your little travel kit, did you? Huh? So
no, well, yeah, you're right.
What's this? I'm watching on Facebook. So what's this? It wasn't bloody cheap. So yes, he keeps complaining, Luke, about the. Hey, you want to shoot pro? Then it's going to cost you. Nothing's cheap.
Yeah.
Nothing's cheap. But I always say, if you spend the money once and you spend it well, then you don't have to spend it again. Just simple.
Yeah. No,
what's that?
having because I don't know what he shot on. Like that's the thing I was going to mention tonight. Like, yeah, we have all cool stuff, but you don't need top end stuff to make content. You just need a camera that can take an SD card that you can get information off and put on your computer and use iMovie or free like Sony Vega or something like that and edit it up. So
don't you try and recommend Sony? Yeah, come on. That would hurt.
To be honest, I wouldn't.
So. Oh, there we go. So something interesting happened. So, but that's what they said this week. Canon dropped a Canon R5 camera. It's like
I watched Peter McKinnon's video.
It is,
on that.
yeah, but he's paid by Canon, so he has to say all the good stuff. But then I did a bit of research because even I went, oh, gee, this is a great camera, 8K raw, yeah, and but majority of the stuff, but it can only film for like 20 minutes, and then you have to switch it off because it stops because it overheats, and then you need to switch it off for 20 minutes, and you get 3 minutes extra.
But the other thing was it was 43 megapixel sensor.
Yeah.
And the R6 is a 23, like every other camera. So.
Yeah, so we have to So we won't. Let's not go too much into that because I could sit here and literally talk about that. I'm keen to see in independent reviews how that camera goes. But then of course Sony's bringing out the A7S4, A7S3.
Oh, but it sucks for a while for Canon people if they're so because you get invested in a brand, and if you go invested and you get all the glass. Like lenses, it's really hard to change, and it's good that they've brought out that camera for the Canon environment. So
the ecosystem. Yeah, I mean, I used to I like Canon. All the photos I used to take was just a cheap Canon. Was it a D600 or 600D or something? But it was simple. The menus are nice. It's great colors on them. Canon wouldn't be who they are if they didn't know how to build cameras. It's as simple as that. Same with Nikon. Same with Sony. Sony's a little bit of a used to be a dark horse in the photography industry. But I mean, they're the top full frame camera seller in the world at the moment. So with the top of. For what you get, for what you pay, it's you can't argue that, Luke says, so we watch on. He said, do you want us watching on YouTube? You can watch on YouTube. I think the quality is better.
Wherever you want.
Facebook I think Facebook's resolution is smaller than YouTube. So if you watch a live stream on,
it looks far better on YouTube, basically. So.
Yeah, and if you've got something to stream it onto your television at home, all the Telstra boxes and all the Telstra TV and iMusic and what's the little Apple TV? Yeah, you can watch that YouTube on thing. Can't pay the cost of the lens. I can't.
So what you need to do is go and subscribe to my YouTube. Wild Born Oz, and then you'll find that I've subscribed to Carpet Python TV.
Yeah.
I cannot find, if I just do a search for Carpet Python TV, it's the hardest thing to find on YouTube because every video about a Carpet Python comes up. So every time I want to find Carpet Python TV, I go to my channel, look who I've subscribed to, and find it there in 2 seconds. So.
Yeah, Reptile News, I think, but it also depends on how much content you've got on your channel. You get found easier the more you have on YouTube, and I don't think I optimize. I'm a newbie. I don't know much about how to post.
Oh, you're getting burned about your sweat.
Yeah, about my Coles cheap. But soda water. How fancy do you want soda water? I mean, soda water is gas and water. Yeah, 50 cents. I think that's 50 cents a bottle. You can't complain that. Yeah, gives me more money to buy camera gear. So who else is out there? Craig Woods. I can only see previously uploaded videos on YouTube, so I have to watch on Facebook. What does that mean? Uploaded video.
Well, it's probably not live on Facebook.
Oh no, you just have to click onto live. Let me just see if I can't find. I'll send it. Let me see if I can find us on YouTube.
Don't send it to me. I've only got one screen tonight.
Yeah, no. Let me just find it here and see if I can post a link. So the Reptile News, so live streaming checklist. It should be there. It should just be running a little bit behind.
It should be red on your subscription button or on your profile pic, and you click on that, and it takes you to the live video.
Yeah, I got it. YouTube. Your channel, your live video is live now.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, we're there. Hold on. Let me just go.
Are you going to use your crappy autofocus to?
No, I just need to go over it so I can show people that we're there.
75 cents for soda water. You cheapskate.
So we're there. There we are on YouTube.
75 cents for soda water. You cheapskate.
There we go.
I can hear you.
There we are on YouTube. Sounds quality. There we go. So go and find us on YouTube.
There's not as big a delay on YouTube as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit, maybe about 20 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's about 35 on Facebook, isn't there?
I haven't been able to watch live on. Oh man, let me just see here because it has to be a channel dashboard. Let me see. So where would you go to find? Okay. I think it might just be. Let me just check. Oh no, we're there live. We're public. Let me see if I can click on it and share the link.
While you're on YouTube, subscribe to my channel.
I have subscribed to your channel. Hold on, let me see.
No, everyone else. I'm talking to you. Jeez.
Hang on, what's this? View in live control room. Okay, let me just see if I can share the link here. Okay, no, it's there. Excellent connection. Okay, so how would you share that across, Colin? Has it got like a...
Is there a... Hang on, let me try and find it myself.
Because I can see it's there. So once we figure this... Oh, here we go. Share. There we go. There we go. Copy. And what I'll do is I'll post it in the... I can't post it there. Okay, so you should get it there. There's the link. So if you want to go and click on that now, so there, JD Johnson. Yeah, okay, JD Johnson on the ball there. Thanks, mate. So go and have a look at it. I think that it's a lot better quality on YouTube. Yeah, I got it. I've got it there, Colin.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. A couple of guys posted it in there. So
I don't want to touch my phone. I dropped my reception drop down.
No, that's
there
fine.
You go. There's
that's
the link.
Fine. There
Looks
we
the
go.
same, like the same link.
Exactly the same, and it's I think the quality's a lot better than definitely a lot better than Facebook, because I know that when I set they tell you that YouTube's got YouTube's a video platform. Facebook's only trying to catch up. So I think in the future they might be rolling out higher video, and I think it's even on the cards for YouTube to go 4K.
It may be on the cards of Spotify now as well. So that'll be interesting.
What high definition streaming?
Yeah, because because they've bought Joe Rogan and they've said they're going to do the video and everything. So when that's unveiled next year.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
That'd be good. That's good for everybody, communication. Oh, there we go. Darren's from YouTube. He's commented, so that's good.
Thanks,
Darren found it. So, have we got anything? Has anybody got us any news to report about reptiles? How's everybody's breeding season going? Who's got what planned? Who's got females gravid? I see. I haven't many full marbles yet this season, Colin. Oh, have you? Have you done anything breeding wise, Colin?
Only paired a few things and I've seen a couple of locks. So
yeah,
I'm not really. I was sort of like really keen to get into it this year. I'm sort of not really now, so I'll go like that.
Yeah, I feel the same about
I'm more
that.
interested in filming things and stuff now.
Yeah, I wish we could leave our homes at some stage to go and see what's happening out in the big wide world. I mean, that'd be nice to do as well. But so far, no joy. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Our little soundbar down at the bottom is not doing too much. We must not be loud enough, I think.
It's very intimate affair tonight.
Yeah. We've got you in your little hotel room there. We've got some good some big things planned though. I just need to get motivated again. I sort of lost a little bit of traction here a couple of weeks ago.
It was a rough couple of weeks.
I feel better tonight. For some reason, I feel better tonight. We just have to sort of cut yourself off some of the negativity that's on the internet, and and then you sort of you start to feel a bit better about it. Let me just see what's going on here. Let me just see. What is you just talk, Colin?
Me, hello.
Talk again.
Yeah, but the whole negativity side of things is not very nice. So you just read the comments and move on with your life. So
yeah, for sure. So what it says? Who says this? Faye. Oh yes, Faye is. Hello, Faye. Sold the blackhead baby yesterday to South Australia. Yay! Are the planes flying already? Are the planes up and going for Australian Air Express? I think the guys said this week that they were sending a couple of things interstate.
Australian Air Express. I haven't heard that in ages. Is it still called that?
No, it's Qantas Freight.
Yeah.
It's Qantas Freight.
No, you're going back. You're right.
What? What do you mean I'm going back? No, I'm just reading this.
Going back in time.
Yeah, jumping.
Aneurysm or something.
The fights I had there down at that, it just brings back memories. The poor service over the years, the misplaced freight, the dead snakes in the airplane. You know, when you pick them up and they're dead because they put them in the wrong spot in the plane. You know, the arguments, the wrong destinations where they literally stopped and went up to Queensland, then they went to the Northern Territory, then they went down to South Australia. It's a great system. Yeah. I mean, I just don't know I just don't know why other companies like FedEx and DHL can't compete in that market, because they've got their own planes in Victoria or in Australia. Like they have in the US, you know, like what's it, Ship Your Reptiles. Those guys over in America handle all the, you know.
Yeah, but in the US, the freight network is completely different to ours. Like you can order something on a Friday, get it on a Sunday. You know.
So, yeah. There's a couple of comments here. Yeah, but I mean, it would be good if we had an independent company that can do reptiles. Just make it so that online booking and.
Yeah,
such a mission, you know. But let's not get negative. Let's try and stay positive here. Darren said. Were you watching FNL again this week? Colin didn't see it because we were away, but we'll watch it tonight as Kyle is a champ and a good ambassador for the hobby. Kyle Chalmers. Yeah, I don't watch that show.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch it, but I know, like I've seen Kyle's stuff and he looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Does he have blue tongues as well or something?
Yeah, he's got some blue tongues and some frillies.
Yeah,
he has had some good luck with frill lizards. Like I know that frillies aren't the easiest things to breed, and he seems to have totally nailed them down. You know,
that's something you don't see often for sale up this way, like in New South Wales. So
no. I don't think a lot of people can keep them. For iconic Australian reptile, you would think that they would be in every collection and that they'd be bright red from selective line breeding, and because you do get them bright red up north.
Yeah.
But then you can't get your hands on those because you need to have the right permits to do that. But I haven't really seen much work happening with them and I don't think a lot of people can keep them alive for some reason. They seem to be technical.
I think a lot of people have a pair and they breed them and then sell all the babies.
Ah, yes, and they don't keep them back and refine them. You know.
No.
There we go. What's this? Okay, so Darren said, okay, and then Faye says this was picked up. She's talking about a blackhead that she sent interstate. A private pet transport company used that. So some people are using the private pet transport people, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I've done that. I use trucks now. Like that's the easiest way for me. I have a mate that's an interstate truckie. I say, you're down this way. Can you pick it up for me, bring it back?
Yeah, and then if you pack it nice, that should be perfect.
Yeah, it sits in their cab. It doesn't go in the back. It sits in the cab with them.
Yeah.
So the only thing is you got to get a truckie and convince him it's not going to get out of the box.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff, and then it's usually pretty good. So.
Yes. Qantas Freight will let me make bookings post August 1st Adelaide. So only from August 1st you can fly out of Adelaide. Okay. Yeah. Then Darren just says he's female. Those frillies triple clutch last year. Yeah, it's also a problem if you end up with a ton of frillies that 3 clutches of frillies. specialist animal in South Australia. Yeah, I wouldn't. The numbers and the lack of frilled lizards in private hands tells me that they specialised. I mean, there's no argument there. Black and white, they look cool. Okay, Paige Brook, heard through the grapevine, FedEx has bought out a TNT or Toll. Not 100% sure who. Hopefully, they will bring better service. Yeah, well, all these. There's a lot of movement in the freight industry now with all the COVID stuff because there's just such a volume. I know Toll has had 2 hackings in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And I don't know how big companies like that can get themselves hacked, where freight literally came to a standstill. So,
Well, I set up with Toll years ago because I've obviously been to American scene ship your reptile.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't we have something like that here? And I rang Toll. I spoke to the state manager. I said, this is what I want to do. Is it possible? And he said, yes, it's possible.
Yeah.
And I set up an account and I was using Toll
to
ship reptiles to your door, like door to door. Overnight.
Yep.
And I use it a few times because there's like people wanting blue tongues and they're like not near a regional airport, not near a city airport, but these guys will get it overnight. And then if you pack the reptile right, like with the foam and didn't like, obviously if you're a good reptile keeper or good reptile breeder, you have a bit of a look at the forecast. Even if you think it's going to take 2 days to get there, don't ship on when it's going to be a heat wave, and I'd just pick, crappy days to ship, and they'd come to my house, pick it up, and take it to the door of the other people, and it was very cheap. So,
let me just. Luke's saying,
I don't have that account anymore. I gave it to someone else, but it was the idea was to do ship your reptile Australia, like something along that line. So
yeah. Sorry, mate. I just saw somebody. Yes, Luke said I can't hear anything. Is it just me? Yeah, I reckon it's just you. So
I reckon it's just Luke. Yeah,
it's not us. We haven't done anything wrong. I've literally just gone and did I touch anything yet? No, I haven't touched anything. So it can't be us. Definitely not us.
It's just you.
So it is. So it is interesting that these basic services we can't have in Australia. I wonder what the reasoning is behind that. What did you ever with Toll? Did you have to declare what was in the parcels, or did you just?
Yeah. And there was a couple of times that they said no, we're not booking that because it's a live animal.
Yeah.
But then I just rang the state manager again and said, like, this is the agreement we had.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, let me sort it out. And then I'd get a phone call back, say, yeah, no problem. Here's the label.
Oh well, that's okay.
I had to do like a whole. Like, this is how I'm going to package them. So I sent them like ship your reptile, like the boxes, because that's the same sort of boxes we're using with the foam. So they understood it wasn't just like a plastic bag with a like a reptile in it or some shit like that, So
yeah,
and I used it a fair bit of the time and never had a problem. So
yeah, well, that's good. That's good. So there's I don't want to go too long with this show, but we seem to have a bit of engagement here, so I don't mind, and we'll probably have.
How many people are watching?
Only 14, but this is sort of off the cuff on a Saturday afternoon, and it is running up to dinner time, so I can hear my wife's moving around and next door. I can hear that.
What are you doing? What do you got for dinner tonight, mate? I bought some buttered chicken. Oof.
Oh. Nicole, let me just ask something here. There's definitely she gets this pre-made what? Nicole, what's that chicken that you get that you put into the oven, that you warm up, and the curry that you get? Where's that from?
I'll be there in 20 minutes.
The Thai green curry. Where's that from? Aldi sells. And what's it? Aldi, yeah. And what's it called? Just a Thai, and how much is like 800 grams or something, isn't it? It's like a decent portion. It would fill your tummy, Colin.
Oh, would it?
What's that? They do a butter chicken and they do a Thai green curry, and then you just add the rice. It's
okay.
Very nice. And it's pre-made, so you just have to warm it, and you put it in the microwave, and Bob's your uncle. Beautiful.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So what have you got planned for? What have you got for dinner? Sundays are always exciting time. I had
buttered chicken, mate. Buttered chicken and naan bread that I bought today.
What is that bread that I had for lunch? I had Turkish bread. Listen to this. This is good. I had Turkish bread, sliced in half. You know the rolls.
Yeah.
With some chorizo sausages, cooked chorizo sausage. Is it chorizo? Yeah, sausages.
Yeah, chorizo. Yeah.
I had some chipotle gherkins on there. I had spicy sauce. What was there? Onion, red onion, mayonnaise, chili sauce, and cheese over it, and then grilled that sucker. Oh man, it was glorious. Maybe not. Maybe you'll have a little bit of hearty burn from that, but I seem to.
I haven't had heartburn in years, so that's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I used to suffer that when I was 20. When I ate the cow.
When you're like 400 kilos, yeah.
When I ate the cow, that's when I had massive issues with regurgitation. You think a snake can regurgitate? You haven't seen this ever can regurgitate, pal.
Oh, Faye's got curried sausages. I'll be there in 2 hours, Faye.
Considering where you're coming from, that's a
fair stretch.
Yeah. It'd be like you might as well just catch a plane there.
There will be flames going off the back of my car, I'm guessing.
Okay, yeah. So we'll get back to the conversation. Japan Post now own toll. Thanks, Darren. He's right straight to the point there. He knows he's got the in there.
He's all over this.
Yeah, buy an air fryer. Do yourself a favor. Yes, we've got air fryers. My wife loves an air fryer. Oh my goodness. It just makes
these dinner offers I'm getting now. I don't know if they're dinner offers. If people tell us what to have for dinner, I'm just going to decide.
But the air fryer, you can't do chips. You can't do chips and sweet potato fries in that because it tastes like rubber when they come out. I don't know. It's just not. It's just not the same. It's like
I've got one. I haven't done too much with it. All I've done is like kids like food, like chicken tenders and stuff.
I did. Nicole did make like you can put a slice of. So she saw on TikTok. I don't know why. TikTok. What is TikTok? So she saw on TikTok.
It's going to be banned soon. So get as much as you can in, and then it's going to be out the door.
Yeah, China, you gone. But she found this video on TikTok where this guy takes a piece of bread, then he takes an egg. He breaks an egg on top of the piece of bread, and he takes a piece of bacon on top of the egg, and he puts it in the air fryer for 7 minutes. Next minute, you got a breakfast.
Okay. Yeah. 7 minutes.
Exactly. I tried. It's not. Yeah. No, egg wasn't fried. It wasn't good. She tried to force it.
Mate, I'm a fan of poached eggs these days. I'm getting more cultured, I think.
Oh yeah. I've heard some of the stuff on the menu that you've told me before. It's pretty sophisticated stuff you've got there, mate. Rail treats you well. Yeah. All the sophisticated. Luke says he reckons you may know cameras. I know eating. Yeah, no, I don't think you know. I don't think you know eating. I don't think you know eating. You didn't see me in the good old days.
Other Luke that I knew.
Duke, old Duke, yeah, Duke and Luke.
You say Duke, yeah, and Duke pops his head out every now and
then. There we go. Just brown rice. I don't have brown rice. See, look at this now. This we're just talking whatever tonight. This is literally like off the cuff. I just want to get the spark back to do the other shows. You know what I mean? Like it's this is the way we want to be. It's a laid back live stream. Our live stream. We don't give a shit. We do whatever we want here. You know, and we can just talk random crap.
Just remember lighting. Just lighting. If I can say anything to anyone, is lighting. Good lighting.
Don't give tips.
And a good lens too. Obviously, a good lens.
Don't give too many tips away, Colin. All right.
Good lens.
Is that the $3,000 lens there?
I don't want to talk about that.
Is that the big boy? Is it the prime?
Yeah, no, it's a good lens. It's a zoom lens. So it's pretty much if you invest in a good lens, you don't need a lot of lenses to make content for YouTube.
He says now.
Or content in general, like the content we're shooting is 4K, so you can watch it on your TV. Or at any size you want. So
roast pork we back on food here, mate. Sorry, roast back. We don't want to talk about your Nikon lenses. I don't care. roast pork for dinner in my household. There we go, Chris. Yeah, that's always good.
But Sony's not jumping the gun. They've let Canon release a camera,
and then they're waiting.
Come out with a camera, and they're going to bring out their camera, and they go, look how good it is.
Oh, you guys had your
$7,000.
You guys had your
fanboy it.
But I do that too. I'd wait for everybody to show their cards, and then I'd go, "Here we go, bang, one, thanks." and walk away. You know, drop the mic and then you're out of there. 10 dim sims.
That's enough, all right?
Yeah, look, here we go. Always the 1+1 type of guy. 10 dim sims in the air fryer. Boom. Yeah, 10 dim sims. Yeah. What those mini dim. Those little mini dim sims. Heath's in the house. Hello, mate. TikTok is the second.
He's pried himself away from snake catching, has he?
Yeah, he loves it. He loves the snake catch. He loves the Heath snake control. He's all over it. Yeah. You can't beat quality eggs Benedict for breakfast. Yeah, I do like the eggs Benedict.
Yeah,
I do like that. But that's the one with the sauce on it, hollandaise sauce on it, isn't it?
That's the sauce, yeah.
The pure butter. Might as well just have a bowl of butter and just scoop it and just eat it.
Just inject the cholesterol straight into your arm.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, hollandaise sauce, man. I could eat that by the jug. That's one of my main stock. That is one of my staple foods when I ate the cow. You know, that's that time when I ate the cow. Yeah, bloody 25 kilos later. Duke Lanford is back. What?
Oh, yeah, Duke's in the house.
Popped his head out. This is fun stuff. Yeah, it is fun. Yum, Darren. I just like the sauce on the side, as I don't like too much of it. Nah, Faye, come on. What's you insulting? Take that back. What you said about the sauce, the eggs Benedict sauce. You can't have enough of that. I asked for a side portion. Can I have some?
You're a self-destructive person.
Yeah, I like to sit at when we're ever allowed to get out of the house again to restaurants and stuff. I always like to just sit around first.
By the way, that's going to be never.
Yeah. At this rate. At this rate, we're locked in here till the end of January or next year maybe. But
I'm still laughing about that hard lockdown.
Yeah, the hard lockdown. We had the hard lockdown, and they thought they had it under control.
What does it go? So I was reading on the thing today. So they have hotel quarantine.
Yeah.
And then the security guards are having sex with the people in hotel quarantine, and then going home and spreading it everywhere for Melbourne. So and then your premier's saying, "Oh, how do I control that?" And it's like, well, like a penalty, like
I don't know,
a fine, maybe.
No, they, it's we can go into this. We can go into this for hours and hours and hours. Nobody will ever know. It sounds like he subcontracted a security company to look after the people that were in those hotels when they were locking down the travellers that came back positive. All right, but then But then what happened was one of the security guards did favors for people that were there, let them out for sexual favors. All right. He ended up getting contracting the virus, and then he went Ubering afterwards.
Yeah, nice.
This is what they're saying. This is the rumor. My gut feeling tells me it could have something to do with the 40,000 people that they're allowed to go and protest in Melbourne 2 weeks ago. Around the right time frame for the virus to go crazy, So, but let's get back. We were talking. That's such a good. So, Darren asked if I got any new herb gear to review and stuff. Yes, I've got some stuff. I've got some stuff that I need to show people, but I've just been a little bit. Andrew,
he's been down in the dumps, people.
I have been. So
he has been in an emotional state for a couple of weeks. So
yeah, so that's why I've got the new layout there behind me. There's all cool stuff there. I've got some thermostats set up. I got this to show people how that works. I had a chat about it last time. So for those of you that don't know what that is
that's really bad autofocus. That's what that is.
No, that was straight on. Like bang. That's at like standard setting. By the way.
Oh, here we go.
It's not even fast. No, I've got my water, thanks. There we go.
I've got my water. Leave me alone.
On it. Straight off it. And I've got a hat on as well. I'd love to see your autofocus find your face underneath the hat. But in any case, don't put it out on. So there we go.
Hang on.
So that is the Zoom.
Is that how you do it?
Oh, oh stop. Oh,
sorry.
So that is the digital UV index radiometer from ZoomEd. Yes, for those of you that don't know, ZoomEd also has a UV index meter.
I bought one of them, the same looking thing, but from Solar Meter.
But have you got the UVB meter or have you got the index meter? Because I had one of those, the green one.
It was the green one.
Apparently now it's the wrong one to use. That only measures UVB output out of the tubes. So to see how much UV is still coming out of it, if they're still making UV. This one measures UV the way that the sun emits UV. So our partners and our wives monitor the UV index to see how dangerous it is to go outside in the sun on a day for the kids. That is the UV index. So under certain UV indexes, so the desert would have a really high UV index, would have a really high UV index, UVI index, index level, and then places like the Dandenong Mountains or the Dandenong Ranges in the forest there, in the where you guys are, would have a low UV index under the
what are they
branches.
What are they worth, these UV meters?
They're not cheap. But this, but Zoomeds is a little bit more expensive. But you probably can get get them from Solar Meter as well. But it's an online purchase, so they range between.
But what's it worth? $250?
No, they range. I reckon between $300 and $400.
Yeah, but like, say that for example, when people that's expensive. Like, well, you pay $500 for a monitor.
Yeah.
And you don't know if a UV light's producing, like, because a lot of people I see, they put their UV light above the cage and go, sweet, but the UV light's not penetrating the mesh or the glass above the cage.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you, for the sake of $300, $400, have the UV meter to go, yeah, it's working, and check it right at the basking spot?
Hold on, let me quickly
But remembering that the UV is not to be all day, like, because the reptiles don't sit out in the sun all day, basking in UV sun. They're out in the morning, they come back out in the afternoon. So you've got to have UV light come on and off with a timer.
I'll tell you what the price is. I quickly just Googled it. Oh, they don't have prices. So
I recall my solar meter being about that much.
Mine was about $250, but that was like, I did buy mine about 8 years ago. This one here is, I never had a UV index meter. And I always recommend people get the UVB meter.
The latest.
And the UVB meter is not the right one to use. That gives you an idea of how much UV, and those T5 tubes that I used to use, they pump out UV. I mean, anybody that keeps their reptiles for extended periods what people don't realize is that UVB, those tubes can burn your reptile. It's the same as going into the sun, and reptiles can get sunburned. So to put a reptile under a UV light and not be able, not allow the reptile to have a place to hide away from the light, like shade,
or limit the time, like. Yeah, it doesn't need to be on all day.
Yeah, that's why things got eye burns and stuff like that.
Especially if it's albino, like you got an albino blue tongue or carpet python or whatever, knobtail, and you put under UV light all day, the thing's going to be blind. It won't be able to see.
Yeah, I just want to.
Won't be able to eat.
Duke is getting a little bit stroppy here. Let me just see if I can find out a
Duke,
price.
just calm down, mate. Like, what you need to do is use these things that God has given you, unless you've got none.
UV,
and then Google and buy it off eBay.
UV index meter, Zoomed. Let me just see. I'll give you a rough idea. I think digital UV radio. So here you go. Brace yourself. $700. $559. It's expensive, but that is the Zoomed branded one. So you.
Yeah, but again, if you got a big collection of monitors or blue tongues or lizards or whatever, $500 is $500.
If you've got a large collection, here we go. I'll add the link for the UVB meter. Oh shit! Hold on.
Okay, let's play music. Why not?
That was an interesting selection of music right there. You know.
Oh wow.
70s. I can remember. Yeah. So okay, let me just knock out.
You remember the 70s? You weren't there.
Yeah, hold on. So paste there is the Zoomed. So this is what you're looking at. I can find out. I'll find out, but I've been given this unit just to have a play around and do some testing on the back here. So this cage, so this is flipped around. You know how the cameras do that. So this cage here has got a 10.0 T5, and this cage here has got a 5.0 T5. So I'm actually pointing. This is actually flipped around, so I'm looking at me other way around.
It spins you out.
So there's a 5 point there, and there's a 10 point tube in there, and this is going to do the measurements. And I've got a camera that's mobile that I'll be able to point at those measurements and go live and show you guys the values. Axolotl cam is right over there. Let me just show. This is, whoo, hang on.
There we go. We've started something now. You don't know how much research went into this battery and rig that he's built here.
So it's hard to
telling the viewers. I don't know how much research and stuff went into the battery and conversations around it.
So that's my battery for it. It's a V-mount battery, and this is built on a gimbal, so I can control it from wherever. From my phone, and then it's on
the remote.
It's on a slider, so it can run around here. The battery's flat, so I can't do anything there. I'm waiting for my charger. It's actually in Victoria at the moment, so that's gonna be pretty crazy. So I can mount this up at the expos as well. What I want to do is I want to be able to. This can track me around as I'm walking in between stuff and talking to people. And
expos, what's that?
Yeah. It used to, we used to have those fun things around. That was like
a full 2019 thing, I think.
Let me just get this thing away because I'm going to knock it over and then I'm going to cry on camera. Hang on.
You don't want to see him cry. Oh.
A little bit out of breath then. Whew. So it's exciting times ahead, exciting times. So... Yeah, we in this on Reptile News we invest in the right gear for the right job. Don't we?
Yeah.
So hopefully I'm trying to condense that so it's compact enough for me to put in a bag. I doubt I'd ever be able to put that tripod in a bag and take it on
on a plane with it.
I'll have to get a new suitcase and all of that. It's going to be too heavy.
They'll pull a gun on if you could try and go through customs with that.
Yeah, they think, what is this? It's a weapon of mass destruction, yeah. So hopefully what I'm planning to do is I want to go and do, I have to go and do a video for the VHS, hopefully still, when lockdown closes down. And then just some, that light's not too bad there. That's actually, I forgot my little edge light. What's it? An edge light? Rim light? Is it rim light?
Hair light, mate.
Hair light, sorry. Head light sitting over there. I forgot to switch it
on. Actually, I was talking about monitors the other day, and I'm like, you didn't send me the link. And I went back through, like on iPhone, you can go through and find the links.
For what's that?
It's there.
Oh, can you? For what's that? The monitor?
No, on iPhone.
I'd said that I send you the links for the monitors. I did, yeah. So was that an apology or was that just like, okay,
that's
cool.
Sort of a semi, Like when I didn't respond, I was like, damn it, he did send it to me.
So did how many of them but you don't have but you need to get I'm going to definitely upgrade this camera, the big camera. I might actually pay that out and get the new Sony that's coming out lease the new Sony, or sell some of those Vision racks that I've got. I reckon I'm going to get rid of the Vision because they're literally sitting in the garage. They're doing nothing for me, and these things can do more for me than the empty racks sitting in the garage.
Sell them.
And then we'll upgrade it a bit. 240 frames a second in 1080.
Jesus. Well, that's what that Canon was doing.
Yeah,
4K. 120 frames a second. I was like, what the hell?
But overheating after 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. That
dying in the arse.
It's a bit hot. It's a little bit hot.
But you can imagine, and that's raw. You can imagine how much data is flowing through that bloody into that camera.
SD cards too, like
it gets 20 minutes, 23 minutes record time on a 520 card. Like, what's that card that you've got? CF Express card?
No, mate. XQD.
Yeah, the CF Express, I think the CF Express
card's faster. That's what they should have put in that Canon. They should have put that sort of card in that Canon.
So 23 minutes of that in 4K. Well, 8K. It's 23 minutes record time.
No, well, that's like one shot.
520 gig. in 23 minutes record time. That's ridiculous. Can you imagine? But that's what the guys who now we're back on cameras again. But that's what the guys.
But like that, the slow motion. Like I did a slow motion shot of a puff adder, in South Africa, and it's I've still got the footage, and it's just friggin' awesome. Like to see every single belly scale moving like a caterpillar, and it looks like they've got feet underneath them.
But
when you have that ability, you could do it with a death adder. You could do it with any python, or reptile, and see them move.
And what people don't understand is that 4K, the on screen 4K is about double the size of a 1080p.
If you shoot it in
screen.
4K, if you want to go to a specific spot on the screen, you can crop it to there, and there's no loss of resolution.
Yeah, that opens up a doorway. Like I can understand taking videos of like stuff like that's how they do the videos of the spitting cobras and stuff. They slow it down to that point because our eyes.
I did a shot of that, and you can see the venom going through the air.
Was that a Rinkels that used? Was that a Rinkels or a Mozambique spitting? What did you record?
Mozambique spitter.
Yeah, and those things are feral. Ugh.
Oh, it was a wild one too, like just out of look at.
I got a story for you. So a friend of mine called me when I was, this must have been, I would have been 17, 18. A friend of mine went to Warmbaths, and he was lying next to the pool there, and inside the pool, they found this little snake swimming around. So he caught it. He was also a snake guy. He couldn't identify it because he was only a hatchling. But he brought it. He said, "Oh, he's got the snake. Can I come and have a look?" He can't identify it, and he's holding it and stuff. And we're pulling a book closer and stuff. Turns out, and he's free handling that little snake. And it turns out it was amazing big spitting cobra. It was beautiful.
Oh,
it was great.
Well, the one that when I was in South Africa with Pete, someone found, I can't remember who'd seen it, but Pete was fishing it out. I was setting up the camera, and I put my sunnies on because as soon as it spit, I put your sunnies on. And Pete didn't have sunnies, and he said, "Just get me some sunnies. I need them now." Someone handed him some sunnies, and he puts them on, and he's like trying to get the snake out. And I look at him, and someone had handed him some Paris Hilton like chick sunnies, like the big ones.
Yeah.
Oh. He looked like he looked like what's his name? Elton John, like sitting there playing the piano, but he's
But those things, I mean, you don't want, even if that stuff gets you in the mouth and you've got a little cut in the mouth. You
get the metallic taste in your mouth, It gets over everything too, like it was all over the lens. Yeah. You got to wipe it off, and then it just stinks.
And you needed to make sure that your fingers don't have little cuts in it and stuff because it's...
Oh, mate, if you got a cut in your mouth, like you get the side of your mouth or something, and it goes in your mouth, you're fucked. So.
Yeah. What Luke was saying is, he said, excuse me, Cole, trying to support the sponsor of the show and buy at the right place. Yes. So we need to take, need to...
if you buy a Zoomed product from anywhere, you're supporting Zoomed.
Yeah, but I know what he's saying. But
there is no. I don't think there is a Zoomed shop in Australia, is there?
No,
they've got Zoomed America, but I follow them on. If you're supporting them, you got to follow them on Instagram, and they do live videos from there.
I'll tell you, hold on,
nearly every day,
because I want to keep everybody happy around here. It's unlike me because I usually. I'll tell you, I've got the pricing here for Zoomed for the company that imports the Zoomed range into Australia, and I'll tell you what I'll just because I can work out more or less what the retail is by looking at the price here.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, here we go. Luke's Australian distributor, maybe. Get stuffed, Colin. There we go. You're gone.
I wouldn't expect that from Luke. More from Duke.
Yeah, Duke's the Jekyll and Hyde. They're the Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, Duke's like the split personality.
Yeah, so let me just check. Okay, so I'll tell you. Let me see if I can find it here. But I do know I was debating. I was getting because I talk a lot about Zoomed. I get a little bit better on the price, but there's not really much you can do on. It's not something that everybody buys, but it is one of those. It's one of those pieces of kit that once you have it, you go, man, I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't ever buy this. No, there's. It's like using T8 globes versus T5 Zoomed globes.
Oh yeah.
And you go, okay, you can get I used to run them for an hour a day, an hour in the morning and an hour later in the afternoon over the beardies, and I never had issues with metabolic bone disease, nothing.
Yeah.
But with
T8,
the
T5, like the T5 fittings opposed to T8 fittings. So T8 is the thick one, T5 is the thin one.
Yeah.
So the T5 fittings are way smaller and more compact. Yeah. And then obviously the T8s are a big, bulky sort of item, you know?
Yeah, we might as well. Hang on.
Here we go. What do you got for me? Oh, here we go.
So I hear, people carry on about, but you can't find the T5 fittings now and whatever. So this is what people don't know is you can buy these. This is
overhead cam.
This is what no, it's too long. You won't even get this in the overhead cam. So this is the one. So you get that cable. That's a switch 2-point cable. I don't know what that is. It's just a 2-prong cable. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that connects to this is one that broke the other day. But I mean, I literally just reached out to them and they said, yeah, no, sure, we can, we'll replace it for you. Easy enough. Because I only got a little bit of usage out of it. I don't think this is the right size box. I think this is so the EcoTech does a T5. What people don't realize is all these things get made in the same factory in China.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the companies go and they get them rebranded and stuff, and they sell them. Some companies are very clever with their marketing and the way they promote their business by, they have pages on Facebook, and I've seen this. There's a page on Facebook that is all about reptile lighting. Okay. And what they do is, they've got a whole bunch of people there that are paid by one of the big companies, and when people want advice about a specific light, they shoot that light down and they promote the company that pays their salary. Do you know what I mean? So it's biased reviews. So this is a local brand, okay? EcoTech. There's the logo. Let me see if I can get it right in front of the camera there.
Here we go.
There we go. My face is still in.
They're the ones that made the light we had a look at a couple of weeks ago.
There we go. So there's the EcoTech. Okay, have a look at that. So these are
the
also
size of the fitting.
Tiny, and it comes with little mounting brackets that you can mount onto your little packet of mounting brackets, and they can also daisy chain them together. So,
can you?
Yeah. So you can connect these globes. So if you've got Exoterras like I've got them there, you can have 3 of these or 4, however many you have
and
of
have
these.
And have a male-to-male cable.
And have a cable coming in the one side and a cable
female, sorry.
A cable coming in the one side, cable coming in the outside, and you can have them connected, and you control all of them with one light switch or with whatever you want to control them,
Mate, light switch
Beautiful.
Is so yesteryear, mate. Go and get one of those Grid Connect PowerPoint plug-in things and do it by your phone. Yep. Set a schedule by your phone.
Yep.
Right.
So you can use this. So please don't feel all lost and out of control because you can't perhaps find another brand that has been discontinued or they're not being imported into Australia anymore. So this EcoTech, can't recommend them highly enough. And it's local backing. I always like to buy stuff from companies that are local, that when something breaks within warranty.
Just hit the nail on the head. That looks the same as Arcadia, which that's what Manice was saying. They're all made in the same place.
Let's not. I'm trying to avoid that, Darren. Thank you. But you can see there's a little clip.
But at the end of the day.
So what I've got there, they come with these. Let me see if I can get that. I just want to cover my face. So see that little clip on top of that.
Yep.
That clips onto your fitting, and then what happens is you can run a cable tie through the top there and connect them to whatever. Like onto those chrome shells. That's how I used to connect them onto those old bearded dragon racks that I had.
Yeah.
Great lights. And with the T5s in there, you're going to be laughing.
T5 is perfect. And they've been around, the Reptisons have been around for, are they called Reptison, aren't they?
Well, yeah, Reptison, yeah.
10.0.
Yeah. 10.0, 5.0. Depends on how close. I mean, I think sometimes 10.0 is just a bit of overkill. If you've got a cage with a high roof.
Hour in the morning, hour in the hour, but
but it's still too much though. I'd rather give them a little bit more, a little bit longer, because then the whole cage light dims down as well. It's dark in the cage if you only run it for an hour in the morning, hour at night.
Yeah. Okay.
If you
So what do you run with the Bitter Dragons when you had them? You only had the light.
Yeah, but I had them under 10.0, but I was one of the first to use the T5s extensively in Australia.
Yeah.
It was you remember when you saw them at my house, it was the first time you guys ever saw them, the T5 tubes.
Yeah. Well, because I had the same sort of racking system, and with a T8 tube, like by the time you have the batten and the tube, you got about 80 mil. So and it takes it away from your vision. And then when I moved to the T5, I couldn't even see it anymore. Like it was gone because it was the same thickness as, because I didn't use stainless steel racking. I used Racket from Bunnings. And that was perfect because by the time you had the lighting there, you didn't even see it.
Yeah, and I saw those. It looks like they fit better. Those frames from Bunning. It also, those Exoterras fit a lot easier next to each other on there. They're much more.
Yeah, they do.
You can fit how many? You can fit like 3 45-centimeter ones next to each other,
side by side.
Yeah,
they
fit perfectly. Yeah, this is the.
Well, I had that, and then I had like a tub system with, and then so the Bunnings racking. Yeah. I had for blue tongues. I had that with underslung tubs.
Yeah.
With some like extruded C channel that I was using, or H channel. Sorry.
Yep.
So you could fit tubs side by side, and I was using those cement tubs.
Yeah.
And then there was mesh you could buy from Bunnings. It was exactly the same size as the timber shelves, and it just sat in top.
Yeah.
And then I just sat the light on top, like the heat light on top, and then I did blueies in those.
Yeah. I remember seeing I remember seeing those racks of yours at the early days prototypes. I refined that.
Yeah.
I refined that stuff over the years.
Yeah. But like, because I was going overseas and seeing it over there, going, "What, Freedom Breeder has that rack? You can buy it."
Yep. The Doscus.
It's called it here. It's called so I was just replicating what I've seen.
It's called the Doscusel rack from Freedom Breeder.
Yeah.
Brian's got that, and he uses it for all these blue tongues and beardies, and it's a great rack because you've got the distance between the tubs, so you can put lights and fittings in there. So I used to
how Brian set his blue tongues up.
Yeah.
The first time is we set them up when we were there.
Yeah.
How we set them up here, but the only difference is he didn't have the same sort of, at the time I was using hay.
Yeah.
He didn't have the same type of hay. He had like a piney sort of hay sort of stuff. Like a pine needle thing.
And did that work? That worked?
Yeah, it was fine, because all it is you turn a two-dimensional cage, like a flat surface, into something that the blue tongues can swim through and hide in, and they thrive in it then. So,
but that's what
if you just got, because you just put paper in, and then something that they can crawl through, and they're happy. Because otherwise, if you don't, they sit in the corner of the tubs, and they get the kink in the back, and it used to piss me off. So.
I use the Exoterra, those extra large, or not the extra large, I think it's the extra large hides, the ones that look like a rock.
Yeah.
And they love to go under there. I never see, they cruise around and they go under there, and the rock's right over where the hotspot is in the cage. And they love to see
the other thing I was developing, which I never went the full distance, was I was using, at Bunnings you can buy round tubs, the round black tubs for ponds.
Yep.
And I think they're about 600, 800 round.
Yep.
I was using those for blue tongues because, like, if you have a rectangle tub, they get up in the corner and they arch their back. So with the round tub, they obviously can't. So all they do is they circle the perimeter and go through all the mulch and stuff. But I was developing the idea, like, from the campfire, where you have like the single post with the wok, and then it like slides out of the way, and then you have something underneath. So I'd have a single post with like a hoop, and then I could put that tub in, and then have the heat above it, and I could move them around.
Yeah, so
instead of having like 3 tubs taking up 2 square meters of your snake room, it would be in like an 800 spot, and there's 3 levels.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing something similar like that for the snakes, but it's hard to get that post because it needs to be counterbalanced then as well.
Oh yeah, it would have to be.
It's a bit of a
engineering plate on the bottom, all that sort of stuff.
But I kept shingleback skinks in those round those ponds that you're talking about at Bunnings. You know, the ones with the
Well,
round rims,
I
flat
bought
brim.
those ponds
Yeah.
to keep. I wanted to put them outside and just put eastern longnecks in them. But then I put them outside. I put water in them, and then I temp gun the water. And on a hot day, that was like bath water. I was like, this is not good. So then I ended up buying. Like a Colorbond water tank that was 3 meters round.
Yeah.
Cut it in half. Got it cut in half. Like a brand new one.
Yeah.
And then a lip rolled on the top, and you could swim in it with your turtles. Yeah. They did bite, but and then I made
as long as the worm wasn't free floating, you should be alright.
That thing stashed away. and then I bred them in there, and so I had like a floating pontoon that went up into a nest box that was just a box with a drop tank of sand in it, and they'd go up there, so they had somewhere to sit if they wanted to, and they'd go up in there and dig down and lay their eggs.
We should go through some.
Inspired by Andrew Party, like
I was just gonna say, was that not? I'm sure I saw something similar from Andrew Party once when he did a show.
I think the first Criticam video we did, was at Andrew Party's place, and he uses huge cattle feed or cattle watering troughs.
Is he still breeding turtles? I haven't seen him.
Yeah. I was only talking to him about a week ago. He wants some electrical work done in his place, so he's very big into his long necks, and he was hounding me for ages for I think it was Emidura australis, like some West Australian short neck turtle, painted turtle or something. So
we should go through some of those old photos of yours one day when you get your system set up to go through photos. Because I remember seeing some
photos. Don't worry about that.
I remember seeing some case designs and stuff that you did for your green tree frogs and stuff like that as well. It was really good. So
green tree frogs, tried to breed them for years inside. Misters, foggers, all that sort of shit. Couldn't breed them. Anyway, so I was like, one night there was a huge thunderstorm. Like I think it was in January or something, February, and the frogs were croaking. So all I did was got them in a bucket of water.
Yeah.
Like just a bucket. Put them in the bucket. Put some floating like fake grass in there.
Yeah.
Put a bit of mesh on top. Put a brick on it, and said, "Breed for me." Come out in the morning. There's 1 million eggs in there. And then because I'd already been to the US and I'd seen how Sandfire Dragon Ranch does his
outside
his frogs.
Frogs, yeah.
And I just did that idea just on a larger scale, because in that idea that I made, I used a bathtub. And so if anyone knows to feed animals outside, because a frog eats crickets and live food, if you throw frogs in just a bucket, they're all going to drown and it's going to stink, you know?
Yeah.
So the idea was, so if it was breeding time, I'd put a plug in, let it fill up with rainwater. They lay their eggs, get them out, and then I put them in a different tub, or the tadpoles, and then let the water out and cultivate the tadpoles still outside in a movable big tub. I had a big reflex tub with filtration, aeration and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I could still feed the animals. So once the plug was out, you could throw crickets in there, and they can't crawl the bathtub. They're stuck in the bottom, and it's just like a shooting gallery for the frogs. They just lounge down and grab the crickets.
Yeah.
And then the only thing I wanted to try with that now is I want to fill the bathtub halfway up with sand and keep Acanthurus outside, because I think they'd go very well outside in my climate, as long as they have a heat box.
I think also you just need to be careful when if you keep them in how much are you going to have a partitioned off area for the sand where they can dig? You just don't want them crushed under rocks and stuff, or digging under.
No. So I don't put like huge rocks and stuff. I just have. So the only thing they would have would be branches to climb, and then the old plywood, which is light as hell, stacks, which is like tried and true, like Bob Whitty style. Stacks, which is just straight from America.
The Reed stacks, the good old Reed stacks. Yeah, Frank Reed. Go search up that name, Frank Reed, and go and see how he did the Goanna Ranch, how they used to do the monitors down there. Very good.
Because if you get breeding reptiles inside, is if you have everything right, it'll happen. But breeding them outside, like Peter Krause does, is amazing. I reckon it's awesome. So, and it takes you keeping to the next sort of level, and that's that's why over the years I feel like I've come to the other side of like, yeah, I had a big collection. I'm not really interested in that now, but I still have animals on it. Like you would have a list too of animals that you want to breed, that you haven't bred yet. Like I want to breed chondros, but I don't want to just buy adult pairs and breed them. I want to buy babies, raise them up, and then breed them. So you get the whole process.
Yeah, I'll need to wait a few more years before I breed anything. Maybe the blue tongues.
But if you're handy, or you don't even have to be handy. Like if you're not very good at anything, there's YouTube videos, or
you're not good at. Yeah, you have to be pretty shitty to be not good at anything. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
If you can't weld, if you can't do this, like, mate, there's fabrication shops now. You can draw a picture up, like on your phone, send it to them, and say, "This is how it's done."
Yeah. My wife just said dinner's ready, so I need to go.
Yeah. So did my wife. All right, calm down.
All right, so I think that was a good chat. It inspired me to do more. So I hope people appreciate the fact that we're out here on a Sunday busting our balls trying to entertain people with our random chats.
Yeah, but it's a bit of everything. Like, so what we want to do now is talk about where we're at now, like camera gear, what's happening in the world, but also like we've just been discussing, like caging ideas and how you've bred reptiles and
tech stuff.
How I've bred reptiles. And
I like the idea of having a reptile gear tech related show that you can incorporate everything, because reptile keeping is not just about keeping reptiles. It's about all the stuff that goes around, like electrics, wiring,
like
heating.
With the UV meter, should be a staple if you have lizards, any type of lizards, even snakes. But if you don't have a temp gun, like a laser temp gun these days, what's wrong with you? Like, they're so cheap now.
Yeah.
And it should be a staple, because if you're going off what your thermostat says, you're an idiot, because the thermostat will say 35 degrees, but the animal's only at 29 degrees. And it's getting RI all the time, but my temps are right. It's like, well, the animals, even though the heat cord or heat mat is underneath the cage or in the cage, the animal isn't the right temp,
Yeah.
Oh, what temp does my monitor have to be? 30 degrees. Like, no, like it needs a heat source, depending on the size as well. Like, if you got a Prenny with one light like this, it's going to get a burn because they need to get hot. So, like my Prenny cage, I have 3
lights next to each other,
heat sources.
Yep.
So I can bask under it,
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's work. We will talk this. We'll talk almost every day. We do talk every day, but but that sounds good. I think a reptile technology.
Sometimes depends on your mood. Jeez.
But sometimes I just need time for me.
And that is gauged a lot of by the weather as well.
Oh, what's that?
If it's a shitty day, don't even bother trying to call him. Fuck, you never get through.
Hey, it's my birthday's on the 20th, so what are you buying me?
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about that. So.
What are you getting me? What are we doing? What are you coming to visit me or something? Yeah, no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I am definitely not coming down there. So yeah.
All right. So thanks for popping in, mate. But a reptile tech. I'd love to show people how to use their phones properly to take proper photos of their snakes, and especially a social media driven industry now. It all boils down to representing your animals right online.
I can't stand now seeing the comment. It looks so much better in hand. Like, take a proper photo of it.
They're not even that expensive. I think they're cheaper than when I wanted to put my order in from America. That Light Chaser cover that you've got. It's $220. Okay. It's $220. I think when I wanted to order that cover, it was like $250.
What size iPhone do you have?
Pro Max.
Oh, you get the Max. Oh, of course.
Got big hands, mate. Not like those little baby hands.
I used to get all the big phones, but I like the little phone.
You hold a glass of drink like this with 2 hands like this. Like little baby hands. You can't hold the glass with 1 hand. It's like 2 little baby hands. Yeah. So we'll photos that doesn't do justice. We'll have a show of cringy things that people say online. We spoke about this week, stuff that people say that I just
the one thing I seen
photos
this week that was cringeworthy was, does anyone know Matt Bonnet or a Matt Bonnet. I nearly died. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?"
I need a review. I need a review of a Matt Bonnet. Does anybody know a Matt Bonnet? Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh.
So apparently my my comment has been shared around a couple of the old fellas, and they think it's hilarious.
Oh, Luke found it. You found it. 188 on drones.com.au. Here we go. There we go. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, I saw that. Yeah. Darren would have been right on top of that. I think Darren made a comment there.
He did, yeah.
So we here to just, and I did a quick show yesterday that I made myself. I felt like sick afterwards, so I just deleted it because I thought, nah. I listen to myself and I go, nah, I'm making myself look like a tool.
Those shows, if you want to have a good laugh, you need to go back on the YouTube.
The early days.
Watch those on your TV. Yeah. When he gets the tight lip going, it is the greatest.
You can hear that. The breathing starts to. So it sounds like I'm gonna have an explosion. Mount Vesuvius is erupting. Yeah. So let's call it. Let's call it. We'll do a little bit of a fun show maybe Friday. Friday. Even though we'll do it whenever we feel like doing a show.
That's right.
And
if
you,
we're just gonna go.
If you want to know,
boys.
And if you want to know when we have a show, you have to be constantly popping into this show. We'll announce it. We'll announce it, but it's going to be. I don't like to be caged. You know, I'm a free spirit, Colin. Yeah, a little bit like you as well. And we don't want to get in trouble with the other halves as well, because I know that
That's right.
So
make sure you follow. If you want to know what's happening, make sure you follow the page. Yeah. Like the page, all pages, Reptile News. Yeah. Puffins TV.
No, we do it. Everything from now on will be going through Reptile News.
Okay. And make sure you find them on Instagram. So if you're not following on Instagram, I'm going to delete you tonight. So
Shuey's photos.
Photos by Shuey.
You have to go through the keeper though. The keeper might not let you go in. You know.
Yeah. So you can sit there and I'll look at you.
You can knock, but you might not.
I don't know who you are.
You can knock, but it might not open the door for you. You know, at the Shuey's photos. You know. So
Luke's buying one. Luke, it takes you iPhone photos.
Doesn't take much to doesn't take much to convince Luke, but you'll see the difference when you drop that variable ND, when you start twisting it, and you can see
He's still panicking about the gimbal or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, I said to him once the restrictions go down, me and him should hook up and go and do some filming.
I've heard that. You're gonna make out.
No. So carry my gimbal. We're going there. Now do this, and you can get me on camera, and I'll.
You need to reveal to the world your arm you have. Like that's just next level stuff.
Yeah. I literally have not taken it out of that bag since I show you that photo.
The only time it's been on is when you sent me the photo going, check this out.
I'm waiting for the expo to raise some eyebrows. Who is this? Who's Robocop walking in here with his gimbal?
I can't wait.
That thing is crazy. But, hey. So, okay. Thanks, Colin.
Righto.
We'll have a chat after. So, but we'll cut it here, and then thank you guys for watching. That was fun and entertaining, and we'll see you guys later this week. We'll do a pop in when you back up in New South Wales later the week, so you'll have your full set. We'll want to display our full rig here, you know.
Yeah.
Full, and then
and the internet's good. It's like good internet connection too.
It was good.
The difference.
We didn't drop any frames today either. It's
okay.
And we were going at 50 frames per second. We weren't even going on the 25 frames, mate. Yeah.
Hello.
That's what you call premium, yeah.
Can you put a green screen around me?
What's that?
Can you put a green screen around me?
Now I'm sure you can do it from your side. Why don't you just pop it on? You've got it.
Okay.
Where's your green screen? Show us.
Where is it?
It does it by itself.
Hang on.
Video settings.
Yeah, hang on. I'll find it.
Hold on. I'm going to do it as well. Let's see because everybody wants to do a green screen. Virtual background is what you want.
This way? Oh.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, I can't do it onto the...
No, you can't do it.
Oh, it does a pretty good job for you.
Oh, whoops. Sorry about
that. It's funny. All right, let's go. This is going down the gutter again now. No backwards ad. Yeah, no backwards ad. That's actually doing a pretty good job with you there with the... Oh, your hand just disappeared into the back. All right, bye, folks. We'll see you later in the week.